Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title, this is another story time with Stan. And if you guys are not familiar with this, story time is a little segment I have here on this channel where I talk about a past experience of mine, whether it be personal or impersonal. Personal really is a relative term. I've told stories in the past where people have called me brave for coming out and telling my story, but for me, simply so many years had passed that it just became a story and an experience as opposed to something that I held personal to me where, you know, I would shy away from telling it. After listening to this story today, I hope you guys can take away something from my experience and maybe you guys can relate. Let's jump into this story. So again, reading the title, you can see that this is a story of my experience with dating apps. This is going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, I'm not going to tell this in full detail because it's just a little bit too long of a story if I do. So I'm going to try to break this down in a way where it doesn't take too long. So to give you guys a little bit more context about how I'm going to start the story off, let's go back to my other story time that I told about my girlfriend cheating on me. So this is the part in the forums where you read this whole essay and you're like, oh my god, it's so long. So you scroll to the bottom of the essay and you see TLDR. Too long, didn't read. So the TLDR of my ex-girlfriend cheating on me was that I was living in her basement at the time I found out that she was cheating on me. So broke up with her. I had to live in her basement for another month before I moved out. I went on Tinder for the first time ever in my life, met a cheerleader, brought her back to my ex-girlfriend's basement, and that is how I got over my ex-girlfriend. So now let me expand on the story of that a little bit. For me, that experience was really great. That's exactly what I needed for me to get out of my rut of being so sad about my ex-girlfriend cheating on me. I remember it was my first day on Tinder. I had made my profile. I was very nervous because I had never done anything like this before, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I gotta try something new. I remember within the first hour I matched with this girl and I was like, this can't be real, right? Like, this girl is really, really pretty and she's a cheerleader and like she's got pictures of her doing needles and stuff. If you guys don't know what needles are, that's like something to show that you're very flexible. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm on board with this. If it's real, I'm on board with this. And it turns out this girl was real. You know, we exchanged numbers and next thing you know, Skype was still a thing for me back then. So, you know, I was on Skype and we were video calling over Skype. It got really, really real, really, really quick for me. And then finally we agreed to meet, and yeah, the first day that we met, we went out for dinner, talked and hung out a little bit, and then I asked if she wanted to come over. And that's when I brought her home. That was a very, very short-lived fling of my life. We probably only hung out 2 or 3 times after that. She was looking for something that I couldn't give her because I had just come out of a relationship, and I was honest enough to tell her that it wouldn't work out, and we went our separate ways. To this day, I think we still follow each other on Instagram, but other than that, we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. So once I got a taste of what it was like to be on a dating app and to finally be able to explore the world in a different way, I started just, you know, doing what I could on Tinder, and I met a lot of different people. And I think this was the first time I ever got to experience having one-night stands and all that stuff. Now, granted, one-night stands aren't for everybody. I'm not here advocating that you guys go try and do one-night stands for even just for an experience. And I know there had been a few times for me where I felt really, really hollow, like I was just trying to fill this void in my life that I just possibly couldn't. And that's when I realized it wasn't just about the physical side of things. For me, it was emotional. Like, I'm a very emotional guy. My friends who know me know that I act a lot out of my emotions. I cry at sad movies. I love romantic movies. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. My friends know that about me. So when I experienced these things on Tinder, Plenty of Fish, it was very unfulfilling to me at times. There were a lot of moments where, you know, whether I was doing stuff with people and meeting new people, it was very, very sad for me too. Because at the root of it all, you know, at the end of the day, you want somebody you could just go home to and have that companionship with. For me, I never wanted to have a story where I met somebody on Tinder. And I'm not hating on people who, you know, have found love on Tinder or dating apps in general. All the power to you. But for me, I don't want that story. I want a story where I met somebody my own way, on my own terms, not because a dating app says that you should meet somebody. So here I am now in 2015, I believe this was, and I'm on Tinder, I'm on dating apps, and I meet this girl, you know, and we start dating. And I really hate to say it, but like after almost a year of dating her, I realized, like, Stan, what are you doing? Like, this is not what you want. You did it for the idea of companionship. You did it for the wrong reasons. So again, I broke it off, and I felt bad. You know, I still feel bad to this day for what I did, but you know, it's a lesson learned for me, and I'm sure at the end of the day she learned something about how guys can be such assholes and stuff like that. And I can openly admit that I definitely didn't treat her the way she should have been treated. I was lost in my emotions, and I was still trying to find out, you know, what was right for me. But I'll tell you guys this now, I would never take back all the experiences I've learned from dating apps. There are plenty of people out there who will tell you, like, I hated the fact that I did dating apps, I met all these asshole people, and I wish I never did it. For me, it was the other way around. I like to look at things with the benefit of the doubt. I'll tell myself stuff like, well, at the end of the day, this was a lesson to you, you learned something from it, so it can't be all bad. So at the end of the day, dating apps are really fun if you're doing it with people who are on those apps for the same reasons that you are. If you're looking to find love and you find somebody and they are looking for love too, man, like, all the power to you. If you're looking to just hook up and have fun and you find somebody that's looking to do the exact same thing, that's awesome. All I can really give as my advice, as somebody who's experienced that kind of stuff now, just try not to waste people's time. If you know that this person is looking for love and you know that you're not really in it, just don't bring them down the rabbit hole with you, alright? Now, if you stuck around until the end, then I will share a little bit more about what I experienced while I was on those dating apps, specifically people that I've met. I'm not going to dive too much into it, I'm not going to go too much detail, otherwise I might get demonetized on YouTube. You know, when I was, I think I was about 23 at the time, I met a girl who was over 30. And that was the first time I'd ever been with somebody who was that much older than me, and they had a kid. Well, for me, that experience was pretty wild. Other experiences are that, you know, I've always questioned whether or not the girls that I met have had or are in relationships, for that matter. Just even like my ex-girlfriend, like, she went on the dating app to cheat on me. You know, maybe these other girls are doing the same thing. Maybe they're unhappy with their current situations and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna cheat on this guy because it'll make me happy. There were a few times where it was a little bit questionable, where, you know, they wanted to meet and stuff like that. They're like, no, we can't do my house. So I've probably been used as a person that a girl cheats on their boyfriend with. And I try not to think about that too much. You know, it is what it is. It's done. What's done is done. Another thing that I got to experience was variety / diversity. Prior to dating apps and stuff like that, I hadn't really been able to what they call taste the rainbow. And if that's not straightforward enough for you, then I suggest that you probably Google that and educate yourself with what I'm trying to talk about here. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end this video now. So that was my experience with dating apps. I hope you guys found it somewhat insightful, whether you're on dating apps right now or maybe you've been on dating apps in the past and you can relate with what I said. Of course, some of the story times that I've told have been suggestions and comments below. I believe this one was a suggestion. I just can't remember which video and who commented it. Otherwise, if you guys are curious to know anything else about me, or you want to see if I've experienced something in my life, then feel free to comment down below what you would like me to talk about for a future story time, or, you know, if you found this video in particular insightful for you. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course I will see you in the next one. Peace.